Alright everyone, welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective Case 2, the case of the Tin Soldier. Last time we went through all the newspapers, and well, case 1 had kind of a lot of info in the newspapers, like several murders and stuff. This one not so much. Like, we might have to go back and read a few things, maybe later, but right now we don't really have that much. Okay, we got the name of the hotel where they're gonna have that like anniversary thing, but otherwise, oh yeah, no, we got the name. No, wow, I guess we sort of knew the name. Well, I don't know. But anyways, now we're gonna go start talking to people. So, well, I don't know. Should go to Inspector Lestrade and see what he has on this case, if he has anything. Talking with Lestrade is tedious and the Inspector is condescending. I guess we don't really have to, but he might have something. So, Holmes and Watson visit Scotland Yard anyway, hoping the man has done his due diligence in this case and can offer insights.
Do you people have nothing better to do with your time than to interfere in police matters?
Nope.
Well, don't bother with this one. We have the matter under control. I've compiled a list of suspects, which you may not see. I intend to ask each one for an alibi, and the suspect unable to supply one is our killer. Quite scientific, really. Now, off with you.
Yeah, because the murderer is just, gonna, like, not give you an alibi, because, Okay. I think Sir Jasper Meek is our medical examiner. And, he checks dead bodies, so definitely go to him, and I don't know, if he has any extra info on the body. In an effort to determine the cause of death, Holmes sends Watson to discuss the passing of General Armstrong.
Can you tell us what did him in, Sir Jasper?
A sword through the heart, a smart upward thrust.
Okay, definitely the sword. I guess you could have guessed that, but still. I don't know if Murray has anything to say. He might have. While Holmes is busy elsewhere, he sends the good doctor to discuss the physical evidence at the scene of the crime with the criminologist.
I'm here regarding the Armstead case. I take it this is the saber he had in his hand at the time of his death?
Aye, indeed it is. A lovely thing to behold, isn't it? Unfortunately, it yielded very little evidence. The top half had traces of dust all along it, indicating it had been unused for quite some time. I did notice on the point a tiny amount of fresh blood. The General must have scratched his opponent. I'm sorry, Whitson. That's all the information to be gathered from this beautiful masterpiece. En garde!
That's Watson, sir. Watson.
I love how Watson is like super annoyed that he says Whitson. Alright, well, it's still fun to watch those videos. Oh wait, we should go to the guy who has all the gossip. Yeah, this Langdale. Yeah. He might actually know something. Sightings Club is not a venue that Holmes and Watson frequent, let alone belong. However, the detectives know that Langdale Pike is aware of what goes on behind closed doors, perhaps more than anyone under the Queen's watch.
The good general married into a considerable fortune when he took Lord Finch's spinster daughter, Mary, off his hands. Mary's brother, the present Lord Finch, was opposed to the marriage from the very beginning, and there was still considerable friction between him and the general. But through holdings which the general inherited from Mary, he and his former brother-in-law were in business together. Ah, the ironies of life, eh?
Why do you think Malcolm Fitch was so opposed to the marriage?
Well, I'm not sure, but it had something to do with the general's reputation with the ladies. Of course, this was before my time. Now, I'm not certain he can be of any help to you, but you might want to check with my illustrious predecessor, Mr. Lloyd Shoemaker.
I'll make a note of that.
You know, of course, the general wrote a book about art collectors and included some less than chivalrous details about how a few of them had come by their collections. One man, Carson Cabot, a gem collector, was quite incensed by being so named. In fact, he accosted Armstead and fractured the general's collarbone.
I understand that the general was going to include a chapter on the Polar Star diamond in his revised book. Would you happen to know if Cabot had anything to do with that particular gem?
Well, I can't be certain, but being the collector he is, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't already have it in his possession.
Yeah, okay, yeah. This dude. In this case, absolutely. Societal gossip. The way to go. We got some new people there. Yep. Okay. I'm not sure Porky will know anything. Who's this? Oh yeah, legal records. Oh wait, Somerset House has the births, marriages, deaths, and wills. That could be interesting though. A quick carriage ride takes Holmes and Watson to Somerset House. Certainly they will have information on the will of General Armstead.
Is there any mention of the Tontine Fund in the General's will?
None. It simply states that Farnsworth Armstead's entire estate is to be used to form the Armstead Foundation, an organization to be dedicated to the study of military history.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like anyone benefits directly that much from his death, like his will at least. Oh yeah, editor for the Times. Yeah. We should go there. Watson hails a carriage and he and Holmes proceed to the offices of the London Times. Surely Ellis, as the editor of Times, would have some interesting news regarding this case.
Ellis, my good man, what can you tell us about the Tontine story?
Time does take its toll, doesn't it? Back in 1865, the Times sponsored a 50th anniversary banquet. I'm quite sure I wasn't out of my pram, but I understand there were 204 survivors at the time. Now there are only 5, now that the poor general has been skewered.
Okay, yeah, he didn't have that much info. We've been to the Times office. We could also always go to the Langham Hotel. That's also a thing. Edward Hall, that's the barrister. Yeah, I don't think he has anything. Quentin Hogg, Scotland Yard. No, I don't think police are gonna be that. It doesn't feel like they're gonna be that, valuable. It's more like, yeah, Langdale. He had loads of info. Well, I think going to Armstead's place would be... Yeah, General Armstead. I mean, start there, really. Tontine ticket holder, decorated soldier of foreign wars and author of Treasure of the Conquerors. The air feels heavy as Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson travel in silence to the scene of the crime.
I found the general leaning over the display case. He had his saber in hand, the one that usually resides above the fireplace.
I understand he was a collector of military figures.
Yes, the display in the study shows the last great British charge that swept the French from Waterloo.
Is there any significance to the fact that the figure of Napoleon is facing backward?
Oh, strange. Perhaps I should go and set it straight.
No, don't touch it. Not until the police have concluded their investigation.
Oh, yes, of course.
I also noticed the portrait over the display case.
The late Mrs. Armstead.
Do I detect a note of hostility?
I must admit we did not get on very well. But I might say that Mrs. Armstead did not get on very well with anyone, including the General.
You mean they didn't marry for love?
Hardly. Lord Fitch, Mrs. Armstead's father, arranged the match. Her dowry was very generous. Lord Fitch would have paid any amount to ensure that he would not be left with a spinster daughter, especially such a nasty one.
If there was no love lost between them, why did he keep her portrait in his study?
Actually, it was put up there to needle Mrs. Armstead's brother, the present Lord Fitch. He never approved of the marriage. Even after her death, they were involved with mutual business affairs. They jointly owned stock or some such thing.
Tell me, do you know what the General was doing at the time the intruder arrived?
Yes, he was working on the new section of his book. The part that concerns the gem, the Polar Star. It was very interesting, really. It traces the ownership of the gem to the brother of Napoleon, to the Russian Count Rostov. Unfortunately, the gem was stolen from the Count 3 years ago. As a matter of fact, the General just received a letter from a Pierre Montan, who said that he was willing to divulge the name of the present owner of the gem for the agreed-upon fee.
Do you know where Mr. Montan might be found?
I believe he's staying at the Bridge House Hotel.
Did the General have any encounters with anyone out of the ordinary in the past several days?
Not really. An old friend of his has been in town, Jean-Paul Girard. Neither the General nor I have seen him in 40 years. In fact, they were going to meet this afternoon at the French embassy.
I'm obviously curious about the General's last visitor. Could you describe him, please?
He was an old man, a rather short fellow. He walked with a cane and carried a carpetbag.
Did he give a name?
No. He simply wanted to see the General, and he handed me a letter to take in to him.
Did you read it?
No. It was in an envelope, rather yellowed with age, though I noticed it was addressed in a graceful hand to Captain Armstead, 12th Hussars, the General's old regiment. When the General read it, he went very pale. Then he asked me to admit the gentleman.
Tell me, when you finally got into the room from the garden, were the study doors still locked?
Yes.
I noticed that there is an 8-foot fence surrounding the garden, and that the only way into the garden or out of it is through the kitchen door or the study.
How terribly observant, Holmes.
So how did the visitor get out? How did the visitor get out? Okay, that yielded a lot of info as well. That's good. Yeah, how did the visitor get out? Okay, I would like to go to his publisher. Are they here? Can we even find them though? Newspapers. No. Publishers? Maybe we can't go to his publisher though. Oh, well, in that case it doesn't really matter. Hotels. We need to go to 2 hotels. So we'll start with the Langham Hotel. Having discovered in the Times that this hotel might have a connection to the General's death, Holmes and Watson head off into the night for a visit.
It seems none of the staff knows anything about Armstead's demise. The manager was rather grateful I told him the news. Says now they can count on one less place setting at the banquet.
Then I suppose it was a good thing we stopped here, Watson.
Okay. Well, we've been there. Apparently this doesn't exist. Okay, well, we should definitely talk to Lord Fitch. Lloyd Shoemaker. We should talk to him. Yeah. Already forgotten who Carson Cabot is. Oh, yeah, no. He was the one. Gem collector. Gem collector. Yeah. Friend. Pierre Matin. Oh, yeah, he had info. Diamond. Okay, let's go to Shoemaker. I want to see what he says about the whole thing. Lloyd Shoemaker, yeah. Holmes seems in a hurry as he ushers Watson out of the door towards an encounter with a society columnist.
Langdale Pike told us you might be able to help us.
And how is Langdale these days? Has he lost his job? Or perhaps you're here to tell me that he's succumbing to some rare disease.
Oh, heavens, no. You'll be happy to know he's in the very pink of health.
Oh, I'm sure you have no idea how that makes me feel.
Mr. Shoemaker, the reason we're here is to ask about General Farnsworth Armstead and the circumstances of his marriage to Mary Fitch. Have you any recollections that might help us?
Miss Mary Fitch. As I remember it, Lord Fitch was in a dither to marry off his daughter. Auction off might be more appropriate, actually.
And Armstead was the highest bidder?
Suffice it to say that despite a reputation as a randy dandy, Armstead's career prospects were bright, and that seemed to be enough of a recommendation for Lord Fitch. The girl's brother was very much against the match and did everything he could to break it up. Soon after the engagement was announced, Armstead went on a tour of duty in France, where he had an affair with a young French girl. She became pregnant with his child.
How positively scandalous.
Oh. Really? So who is this child then? Alright, let's go talk to Fitch. Fitch. Oh, we can go to the French embassy, but meh. Okay, Fitch. Malcolm Fitch. Here we go. Malcolm Fitch is the son of Lord Fitch and the grandson of the Earl of Leicester. Oh. Vowing to leave no stone unturned, Holmes leaves Watson at 221B and pays a visit to Malcolm Fitch.
I admit I strongly disliked Armstead. He was a cad who made my sister's life miserable. I argued at length with my father against the marriage, but to no avail.
But what was your sister's opinion at the time?
Unfortunately, Mary was not the attractive sort who had scores of suitors. My father was afraid she'd be left a spinster. The engagement was arranged just before Armstead went to France. During the year he was gone, I had him watched and discovered he was in the thick of some scandal involving a young French girl.
And you told your father?
Well, he wouldn't listen. I even went so far as to give the story to the newspapers. But my father got wind of it and used his influence to prevent its publication. I would have done anything to keep my sister away from that man.
Including murder?
Why, that's preposterous. Well, surely you don't think... I was scheduled to meet with Armstead today. But you see, my wife took ill. I spent the whole morning attending to her here until Dr. Ainstree arrived at around 11 o'clock.
Okay, I guess we could talk to Ainstree, maybe, but nah. Alright, cool. That was Lord Fitch. Fitch. We should talk to Cabot, the gem collector, definitely. Carson Cabot is a collector and trader of gems. Watson is feeling a tad under the weather, so Holmes hails a cab himself to interview Mr. Cabot in person.
Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Cabot, I'm looking for the murderer of General Farnsworth Armstead. Where were you this morning?
You don't beat around the bush, do you?
Not if I can avoid it.
Well, it so happens I've been at home all morning.
Yes, I can see that.
Well, of course you can.
Either you've been at home all morning, or there's some other good reason why you are still attired in your bedroom slippers.
Okay, well, cool. Where's this Pierre Martin? Oh yeah, he was at the other hotel, right? Because he's probably not here. Oh no, he is. Martin. Pierre Martin. Here we go. Nothing on file. Alright. At last, exclaims Watson. This is just the break we need. Holmes conceals a smile as he follows the good doctor out the door.
I can't believe we came all this way when there are more important things to pursue.
Indeed, Holmes. I don't know what got into us.
Oh, okay. I'll go to his hotel then. Bridge House Hotel. Modest accommodations for businessmen and travelers located near Hatham Grove. Following up on a lead and motivated by a hunch, the detectives quickly head over to the Bridge House Hotel.
How in the world did you hear about it so soon, Mr. Holmes? The body's still warm. Couldn't have happened more than 10 minutes ago.
Body? What body?
Well, the one what's upstairs in 203.
We're here for something else, actually. Looking for Pierre Martin.
Well, that's the very fellow what was done in.
Tell me, young man, do you know what transpired?
Well, Mr. Martin checked into the hotel on the 8th. He was a Frenchman. I didn't speak to him much.
Who discovered the body?
I did. Well, I came along to his room to deliver a wire. Here it is, sir.
Information still valuable. See me, Wells, Osborne, Norgate and Company, publishers. Tell me, did you see anyone suspicious hanging about?
No. No, sir. Well, actually, now that I think about it, there was a rather large man with a foreign accent. Russian, I think. He said that he wasn't sure about the address and that he'd only just arrived in London. He asked for Mr. Martin, and I sent him straight up. Well, he was rather well-spoken and well-mannered. I didn't think anything of it at the time. A few minutes later, he came down. He was practically running. I saw him go out the front door and hail a cab.
Was there anything amiss in the room?
I'll say. An inkwell was toppled on its side, left an awful mess on the carpet. Big blue spots and inky footprints right the way to the door. The manager will be in a fret when he sees it. Fortunately, there was no blood.
Perhaps he was strangled.
Ooh, okay, we have another dead person. Okay, Pierre Martin is dead, in caps lock. Alright, that was a big thing, yeah. Right. Okay. Can we go back to Mr. Murray?
I'm here regarding the Armstead case.
Nope, wrong person. I meant Sir Jasper. About...
Can you tell us what did him in, Sir Jasper?
A sword through the...
No, I meant the other person. Okay, never mind. They're not going to tell me about Pierre Martin. apparently. Okay, well maybe we can go to an embassy, the French embassy, and ask about Pierre Martin. Hyde Park, okay. Holmes agrees that a trip to the French embassy might provide some value to their investigation. He grabs a hat and a full pipe and follows the good doctor out the door.
Farney and I spent over a year quartered together in France in War College. We became the best of friends.
Did you know much of the General's personal life at the time?
He always put the rest of us to shame in the matters of love. Said it was because we had no horse face to spur us on.
Did the General have a passion for horses?
Mon Dieu, no. He was engaged to a terribly unattractive woman by the name of Mary Fitch. Behind her back, that's what he called her. Horseface.
How dreadful. Whatever became of her?
She eventually became Mrs. Armstead and brought her great fortune to the marriage. I believe that Farney looked upon his stay in France as his last great fling.
Are you saying that there was no particular woman at the time?
I did not say that. There was one, but I never met her. My little flower, he called her. I remember one night he could not sleep. He was slightly drunk, and he kept rambling on about promises that must be kept and promises that couldn't be. Finally, he collapsed on the bed with such sadness in his eyes I will never forget it. Ma Fleurette, he said. How very touching.
Have you seen much of the General over the years?
We have always maintained our friendship through correspondence, until last week, that is. It was the first time we had seen each other in over 40 years. We had supper, and then went to see the French actor Philippe Arnaud perform. The General commented that my presence beside him while French was being spoken reminded him of the old days.
So your visit went well?
Exceedingly well.
Can you think of anything that might have been troubling him?
No, the General was in excellent spirits. He joked about the upcoming Tontine celebration at the Langham, and he was very enthusiastic about the new information concerning the Polar Star. In fact, this week he was supposed to meet with a countryman of mine about it. It is hard to believe that my good friend is gone.
Okay, I'm not sure how much info we got of that, but we got, you know, sort of the same info again, I guess. Oh, was that Jean-Paul Girard, by the way? Maybe that was him, because I presume he's not here. Yeah, that was probably him. Okay. Yeah, he is at the French embassy. Been there. Okay. Oh yeah, this Wells Osborne dude. There we go. Mr. Osborne is a senior partner of Norgate and Company, a London publisher. Holmes questions the logic of trying to see the man at his home, preferring to visit his company address. Nevertheless, he goes along with the doctor. I couldn't find his company address, though.
I can't believe we came all this way when there are more important things to pursue.
Indeed, Holmes. I don't know.
Okay, but I can't find it, though. I would love to find it. Okay, where could this Norgate and Company... Is it under C for company? Like... Okay, where is Norgate and Company? Come on. I tried to go there before, but I... Oh, Jacob Epstein. Wait a minute. President of the Russian Immigrant Social Club. Yeah, okay, no. Where is... Hotels... Oh wow, okay, we're over time. Where's the publisher, though? I want to go to the publisher, but, like, I can't find it. Ladies' League of Finches. Always go to the National Gallery. There! Oh my god! Sorry, I'm blind. I am... Oh gosh. Wells Osborne is a senior partner of Norgate and Company, a London publisher. Recently, they have published more than their share of controversial books. There we go. Having read in the Times the efforts of Norgate and Company to publish General Armstead's account of the Polar Star gem, Holmes is most eager to hear what Wells Osborne has to say.
General Armstead's book has been a very controversial subject from the start.
I understand the original publication caused quite a stir among the public.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, of course, that many of the treasures listed in the book had in fact been stolen by their present owners. That revelation caused quite a sensation, and we were delighted. The more libel suits that were pressed against us, the more the book sold.
May I ask why the General chose to revise an already successful book?
There was one piece of critical information missing from the first edition. It was the whereabouts of a fabulous diamond called the Polar Star.
Seems to be a very popular gem.
Indeed. So you can imagine his excitement when last March he received a letter from a Frenchman by the name of Pierre Martin, who claimed to know where the diamond was. He had even provided a detailed description of how the gem was stolen from its last known owner, a Russian fella, a Count Rostov. He said the thief was an Englishman.
Might you know his name?
Martin wouldn't tell unless we paid. As I understand, he was in town a day or so ago and had tried to set up a meeting with the General. Unfortunately, I don't believe they had a chance to meet.
No, they didn't. Because he's pretty dead at this point. Okay, good. Good, we went there. Same info, but still. Maybe we should go to the Russian embassy. Maybe we should go to the Russian embassy. Oh well, we will check out stuff next episode because time is up. So yeah, we'll see if we can solve the case in the next episode. And yeah, what's with Napoleon being, you know, backwards? The case of the Tin Soldier, as it's called. So yeah, the points are counting up there, but yeah. Yeah. So anyways, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.